Hi chess fans, in this video we will look at the endgame with rook and pawn versus rook, where the attacking side's pawn is on the 4th rank, has not yet crossed the center of the board, and the white rook is cutting off the king by 2 files from the pawn. And black has the long side, so black has 3 files to check the king from the side. In one of the prior videos we looked at a position like this, where the king is cut off on the other side, where white's rook does not have the long side available but can only check from the short side. So, and in this position here, the point is that Grigoriev's combined method to win does not work. So let's have a look at why it does not work. Grigoriev's combined method means that the king wants to walk to the ideal square on f6, where it can assist the pawn and attack the rook. And once the king is there, the rook moves to the d1 square. So let's see why this does not work. After rook e8, king f5, rook f8, king e5, king f6, the king has reached the optimal position. And now if the rook attacks the pawn, Grigoriev's method would continue with rook d1, protecting the pawn. And now the king can approach, and the king can attack the rook here. And normally the game would kind of continue like this, but in this position here, black has the resource to simply move the rook to the long side, and black will be able to give side checks while the king approaches, and white cannot win. For example, after d5, rook h7, black just gives side checks. And again, in this position here, this resource is not available, because here the rook cannot move to the left side to give checks, so the rook can only move to the side here, and then Grigoriev's method allows us to win. Okay, so that's why in this position here, this method does not work, but white does have another method, and the method is that because this king is cut off here on this side of the board, white can win using some mating ideas. So the king moves not to e4 but to the other side, king c4, and the point is that the white king wants to move to c6, where it then can assist the pawn advancing, and it also threatens mate with rook a1 checkmate. Okay, so if black checks, the king moves forward, and now the king has reached c6, and the point is that white is now both threatening to move the pawn forward and to mate. So if rook takes, we can mate. So the rook cannot take the pawn, even though the pawn is now unprotected. And if rook c8, white can advance, and after rook c2, the pawn simply marches, and white will reach a Lucena type winning position. Okay, and this method is very simple, taking advantage of the fact that the king can be mated. If black was to move in this position and black would move to a7, we could use the same method. The king advances, and following on the checks, simply moves forward, and now again attacking the rook and threatening to mate at the same time. And if in this position the king moves up, we win the rook, because we are also attacking the rook, and if the rook takes, we mate. Okay, and if black was to move to a5, this is actually the best square for the king to be at, because now if the king advances and the rook gives checks, we run into this eternal checks. So that's why if black has the king on the ideal square of a5, white first has to lose a tempo by playing a waiting move, rook b2. And now if the rook moves forward, we can move forward with the king, and the rook does not have the distance effectiveness anymore and can be attacked. So the rook has to stay on the 8th rank, so the king has to move, and if the king moves down, we move the rook up to b7, and if the king moves back, we move the rook back to b1. And what white has done now, so again, if in this position black is to move and black moves to a5, with this maneuver we have given the move back to black, and if black now moves to a6, we continue with the main line, king c4, so black only has the other option of moving down, and this allows us this strong move d5, because after rook takes, we are threatening to win the rook and to give mate. So if the rook moves away, we give a mate. So this winning technique works, as we have seen, no matter where the black king is. If the black king is here, 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 or here, the only thing that we have to bear in mind is that the king simply moves forward, and then there will always be the opportunity for giving the double threat of mate and advancing the pawn, or sometimes attacking the rook and threatening mate. While the Grigoriev's method to move the king here and then the rook here to advance does not work because of the side checks. Okay, thanks a lot for watching. If you like these videos, please make sure to subscribe so YouTube sends you an update once new videos become available. Thanks for watching.